Okay, hello gender blenders. This is attempt number 3 at making this video. This is a really hard topic for me, so I actually wrote down all the questions here, and I'll just kind of go down the list of stuff that was asked, and hopefully we can answer the question a little bit better. I guess like some of the thoughts that people are having right before transition are they making the right choice? Will they regret it? Are they really trans, or are they just experiencing tendencies of the other gender? Or can I really live this way? And will it make me feel better? So the question that was posed to us was, what made you come out to yourself or realize that transitioning was a possibility? So I'll just answer that really quickly and say that for me, what really made me see that transitioning was a possibility was meeting my girlfriend here and looking at her change, and after that you go and do your own research and look online, and then actually my girlfriend was kind of like my little nudging point, because like I was right there on the edge. I just needed that little extra push, and she gave it to me. So that was my coming out. And how did I accept it? I accepted it with open arms, and I was just pretty gung-ho about it. Like when I told her I was coming out, it was just like the next day I was already in therapy. It was all really quickly. I didn't have any second thoughts or doubt myself at all whatsoever. I just went right into it and haven't looked back since. So what about you? What made you come out to yourself or realize that transitioning was a possibility?
I think for me it was seeing it on TV. I always knew that I wanted to, but I didn't think it was actually a possibility. Like, wow, it's so foreign, changing, and being realistic about changing. But then I would see exposure on TV, like Oprah would have a trans girl on there, and then once I realized that people were doing it, I'd go online and check out their stories and take a look and see what they were doing. And I realized that it is a possibility, and so then it was at 18 when I decided that that was something that I needed to do. Like, I'm going to do it no matter what. But it did take me a little while to get over the worrying about what other people are going to think about me when I do it. So that was a big obstacle. Once I realized that it can be done and that I knew I needed to do it, I had to go through like a period where obviously I wasn't ready to do it that time, because if I was, I would have just done it. So it did take me a little while to actually overcome what I thought would be the social stigma of changing, dealing with the backlash from friends and family. And once I realized that I was willing to undergo whatever negative consequences would result from my change, that was at the time that I was ready. Like, I knew that it didn't really matter what happened, whether I was the object of social ridicule or whatever. I didn't care. Like, I needed to change, and that's when I realized that I had to.
Very cool. So the next question is, do you have any regrets? And for me, definitely not a single regret whatsoever. I haven't looked back since I transitioned, and I don't think I ever will. I have no regrets as far as the hysterectomy that I've had. I've had no regrets over the hormones. And I interesting, because I really just kind of dove right into this transition and didn't really think about a lot of the social consequences. I just did it, and honestly I haven't looked back at all. No regrets. What about you?
No regrets at all. I'm so glad that I did it. I wish I had done it so much earlier, but now that I've changed, the only regret that I have is that I didn't do it soon enough, because I'm older. I'm not going to tell you how old, but
I'll tell you how old she is.
No, you're not going to say a darn word. And I'm actually kind of living a gap where I am a certain age, but I'm kind of like mentally, I'm kind of behind a little bit, for the reason that I didn't, I waited so long to change.
So you feel like you're reliving your youth again?
Yeah, it's like there's like a 10-year gap where I am a certain age, but I'm kind of mentally, I'm kind of going back to like my college years, trying
to catch up.
Exactly. Like, since I wasn't socialized as female, it's like you kind of have to go through a re-socializing process, and that's it's challenging because you're not all those things that girls that were socialized as girls take for granted because it just happens to them naturally. So now it's like you're trying to kind of going through like a learning curve, so to speak.
Yeah. So I agree with that. I think if I did have to have a regret, it would be not doing it sooner, because it would have been so awesome to go through high school like this and
exactly
just go
college, just
all those fun things the way it was supposed to be. But
being a little slut in college, like every girl.
Yeah, and then picking up all the little cute girls in college and high school. No, I'm just kidding. But so was transition everything you thought it was going to be?
Yes and no. Like, it's so funny because once you're done, you're like, okay, now what? Because like once you're transitioning, like all your focus is on doing this, like having the surgery, taking these hormones, and then you don't really realize that once you're done. And so then now what do you have to focus on? Well, now that you've changed, it's like now you have to focus on life. Back to the mundane details of surviving, of working, of making money, of paying your mortgage, of paying your car payment. And so.
Yep. Did you experience anything unexpected during transition or after transitioning?
Yeah, the sex is different. Like, that's for sure. It's it's going to be different, but you don't really know it's going to be different until you actually have it the other way. Like, it's, for me, like having sex as a female is so much more satisfying than it ever was the other way. Because I actually get to not have, when I was the other way, I would fantasize about being a girl and having sex as a girl. And now that I am, like, I actually get to enjoy it. It's great. And it's a whole different mental thing. As as a boy, you're kind of, it's like wham bam, you're done, get it out, have an orgasm, whatever. As a girl, it's more of like an internal process. Like you have your mental connection as well as the physical connection, and your mind and your body are working together, and the orgasms are more intense and they last longer, and they you can kind of control them a little bit actually too. Whereas with the other way, it was just kind of like you were just at your body's whim. It just when you finished, you finished. But as a girl, it's like I don't know, like sex is more enjoyable now, and I'm just now discovering that as well, because it took me a while to get to that point where I was able to be comfortable with myself and my body and what it can and can't do and what it should and shouldn't do. So
very cool. That's awesome.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Transition was pretty much everything I thought it was going to be. Anything unexpected? Not really. Yeah, not really. I wasn't expecting anything like, physical to change down there, really, because, the surgical options just aren't available for female to males yet, but I already knew that going in, so nothing really unexpected for me, It is what it is. Testosterone does its thing, and that's it. As far as, well, actually, you know what? One thing I didn't really think about was the male privilege that comes with being male, and I didn't really think about that before transitioning. Like, it was just, be a guy and that's it. But I didn't really think about I didn't even know that there really was male privilege. But now that I am, I'm really kind of seeing it firsthand, and just seeing that I do get male privilege now, and it's interesting, and it's cool. The final question is, do you feel more whole as a person? And I can definitely say yes. Yes, I do feel more whole as a person. That was pretty much the missing piece to my puzzle, and I'm glad I found it. You?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's like I can't imagine being the other way. Like, why would anybody want to be a boy? I don't get it. But
why would anybody want to be a girl?
Girls rock. That's why.
We always wonder these things to each other, just like, why would you want to be that way? But I think that's what we all think. Like a lot of female to males probably think like, why would anyone want to be a girl? And a lot of the females think, why would anybody want to be a boy? But just interesting thoughts. that's our video for this week. I hope it was helpful. This was kind of an interesting topic, so have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next Monday on Gender Blenders.